So here's the 3-month update of installing the Wuuk system into my home for personal security. So here's my 3-month review of the Wuuk system. Now, a lot of you might be concerned about the battery life and how well they do in like cold weather temps. So that for me was a hesitation when I initially got this device, was battery life or battery life concerns, but I can honestly say like they've been doing pretty good. According to their site, they say that they should be doing something like 90 days between charges, and I think mine's actually going to go a little further than 90 days. Maybe after the device is aged somewhat and the battery gets a little older, 90 days might be the thing. As you can see, about 3 months in, I still got 31% on my lowest battery device, which is the doorbell in the back of the house. Charging them is super easy, just popped it off the base, and I've got like a portable charger here sitting on the side here. Chucked it on there, a couple hours later, put it back outside, and it's all good. Taking them off of the mount is super easy. They do include the little gadget there to pop it off, so not a big deal there at all. Another thing that I do like about this device is its base has now become wireless, so I've got that hooked up to my wireless, and that is good. And this way it lets me put it into a central location of the house, which I'd recommend. Kind of separated by the perimeter, they're all around the location, so central location for the hub is great. One thing I would like the manufacturers of the Wuuk to do is actually put a battery inside of that. This way, in case of a power outage, you'd still have battery life in some kind of battery backup without having to put it on its own UPS. So having a battery in the base would be a nice addition to this unit as well. Now, the fine folks at Wuuk seen a couple of the videos on my channel showing you guys what this system looks like. So they did me a solid here and they sent me a Wuuk solar panel to kind of check out. So that's what I'm going to do in this video here. I'm going to hook this thing up. I'm not going to put it on the mount. I haven't even opened the box, so let's take a look inside. So there's the panel. It's pretty small, pretty thin, and it's got its USB wire. Now, for those of you that are hooking up your security cameras on the outside perimeter and are concerned about battery life, this might be a good solution for you. It's an overcast day today, and one of the batteries on my front cameras is on the lower side, so I'm going to take it. I'm just going to hook this thing up. I'm not going to hook it up properly. I'm not going to drill the holes to put the mount on. As you can see, it does come with another mount here as well to put the solar panel on, and I think, yes, it is a pivoting mount, and it moves pretty difficult, so you don't have to worry about this thing flopping around in the wind, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to hook this thing up, and we'll see how well it charges in an overcast day throughout the day. If this device charges with indirect sunlight and keeps the battery topped off, it's going to easily be a solution for somebody who has this thing on maybe a second-story balcony or something like that, where it's not easily accessible to keep your batteries topped off, and then you don't have to worry about it, so that's kind of nice. The doorbell does feature 2 wires on the back, so you can wire it the same way you would another doorbell, and that'll keep it charged up. So to start out, I'll show you the battery of the camera I'm going to put it on. It's called Garage Door on this one. And you can see it there at a whopping 67%. So let's hook it up. And right now the time is 11:24. I'll put it on right away and we'll check back in a couple hours and see how well it performed. As you can see, it's a nice cold winter day out there. So here's kind of how I set this thing up, so let's see how well it charges out today. There it is, just kind of dangling off, and it's kind of under an eave as well. So we'll see how it performs throughout the day. So how do I like this device overall? So far I'm pretty impressed. It has been stable, it's been working good. There's been consistent firmware updates from Wuuk that improve some of the features and functionality. About the only gripe I've got about this thing so far is the app. So once you have a bunch of videos recorded on your device, they'll show up here and you can kind of scroll through and you can look at them. But because storage is limited, and it's, by limited I'm using this very loosely, you can have a month plus of footage on here. But the only gripe I've got is the app. If you want to delete videos, The most you can select at a time is 10, so it's a little tedious to go through and delete old videos that are not security events that you need to keep or just want to get rid of. So if they would improve that on the app, maybe something like a selected date range from whatever, here and older, delete all, that would be kind of nice. That would be much appreciated. Other than that, the app is intuitive, it's easy to use, you can use it remotely, and it gives you a nice summary on the summary page of all your cameras, quick view. You do have to scroll down to get it to refresh and get a new video picture on the main screen. And some of them don't refresh on there all the time, but they all do connect if you just select on a camera, a buffer, and there's the live view immediately. So that's all super easy. No gripes there, just that one. Other than that, the rest of the app is great, it's consistent, and it works. For somebody that's looking for a security alternative or a security solution for their home, I would easily recommend it, even without a solar panel. I wouldn't hesitate to buy it without this. That being said, if you do need a solution for, like I said, a second story balcony or like the top corner of a shop or something like that where you can't get to it easily, this is a nice easy fix for that, and then you're not concerned about the battery life at all. Solar will keep it topped off and life is good. So after having the solar panel outside for the whole day with an overcast sky underneath the overhang, it did not improve the battery life at all. The same percentage was still on the screen. However, so what I did is I actually moved the panel down a little bit just so it gets direct sunlight, and I noticed that after that was the case, like today we had sunshine for a couple hours and my battery life immediately jumped up. You can see it here. So after just a day it's up to 62%. So clearly this thing works, and it works pretty quickly as well. I mean, considering the battery life on these units is already like 90 to 120 days, something like that. So putting a solar panel on this thing, I mean, as long as you get 2 or 3 good days of charge, actually I guess it would be 10 if I'm getting about 10% a day. And that's in winter. It should only take about 10 days of sunlight to get the system all charged back up. So it looks like the solar panel is going to be a success for those that have really remote locations that don't want to be pestered with having to plug in these things. Other than that, yeah, the rest of the system has been working flawlessly, and I'm happy with the system. So I'd highly recommend it to anybody that is looking at getting some kind of home security setup. Links are down below for anything you need.